Wow, I am truly impressed with James Wan, and I think that this trailer looks amazing. However, I actually liked the Shazam trailer more than this one, and I'll explain why in my Shazam breakdown. But hey everybody, it's Martian Monkey here. This is going to be my Aquaman Comic-Con 2018 trailer breakdown. We're going to talk a lot about what I think about the trailer so far and the movie so far, right? And what I think about the new 52 route that they're going with Thrones of Atlantis. You know, I think it's really interesting how they're pulling a lot from Jeff Johns. Maybe Jeff Johns was like, hey, I got a lot of DC stories. Want to pull from some of mine? Right? And now James Wan is doing so I think it's really great. But let's break this down. So first of all, I like the idea of introducing Aquaman's parents right off the bat. I think that they're you know, from different worlds love story. Always appreciate it. I love those kind of love stories, right? So I really do like how they kind of pulled that into the beginning. Nicole Kidman looks so good here, right? It really does remind me a lot about Wonder Woman, if you think about it, being, you know, someone being pulled up on shore, right? Like Wonder Woman and Chris Pine and Gal Gadot. So it reminded me of that a lot. So I think it was really nice. But again, Nicole Kidman looks really good here. Now, what I also loved about the trailer is that they showed this scene. I actually read about this, so I knew the scene was going to be in the trailer. I couldn't help myself, right? But what I really like about it is that in Man of Steel, they focused on a young Clark, right? We saw Clark as a kid and as a teenager. And then in BVS, we got a brief scene with a young Bruce Wayne, and then again with Wonder Woman, seeing Diana really young, right? So I like the idea of them showing these heroes at really young age, right? And Shazam's already a kid. But because you know, the reason why I like it is because you always ask, or at least I do, I ask myself, what were these people like as kids, right? Like, what were these metahumans like when they were younger? Of course, you know, Barry Allen and Victor Stone didn't go through that when they were younger, but Wonder Woman, Aquaman, you know, they did. You know, they did have their powers at a young age. So I think it's really interesting to see that. Now, Jason Momoa is doing a really good job in this movie. I mean, he looks great, especially in the submarine scene. I also knew that this was going to happen, too, in the trailer, mainly because I think they confirmed that this was going to happen. Well, and also we got that first look at the submarine, too, so we knew this was going to happen at some point. But yeah, I really do like this scene a lot. Jason Momoa, you know, recently I've been talking about how an actor can really become the character they are. Like Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. I feel like Jason Momoa is almost there. He's not quite there for me as he is Aquaman, which is crazy because he's doing such a good job, but maybe we'll see more of that in the film. Patrick Wilson looks freaking incredible in this movie. I mean, he looks really good. Again, Patrick Wilson is Orm, right? Like, he just looks really good as Ocean Master. Surprised we didn't see his helmet, though. His comic book accurate helmet from the comics, because we saw it already in the poster, right? The teaser poster, so I don't know why we didn't see it here. But we do really like Patrick Wilson in this role a lot. Now, here's the trident. Now, a lot of people were confused about this. So in Justice League, Jason Momoa's Aquaman doesn't have the trident yet. He has the what do they call it? Quindent? Like trident, quindent? I guess that's what they call it. But he had that. He didn't have this trident here, right? King Atlan's trident. He didn't have that. So the idea of this movie, the whole I guess plot, you could say, the story, well, Aquaman's storyline out of the plot, is that him and Mira are looking for that trident. But it's kind of weird because we see it later on with Orm, so I don't know what's going on there. Now, let's talk about Mira. The first time I saw the trailer, I didn't really buy her, you know, buy Amber Heard as Mira. I had to kind of rewatch it a couple times to really process her as the role. I don't necessarily love the casting still to this day. When it was announced for Justice League, I was like, oh man, I don't know about Amber Heard being, you know, she has a lot of life problems. When the Johnny Depp stuff was going down, and I was like, I don't know about it. But here she's doing better, so I really do like that. And then of course here, this armor just looks really good on Jason Momoa. Again, he's doing really well. A lot of people are going to totally crap on the idea of them talking underwater. I thought that in Justice League they handled it pretty poorly, to be quite honest, with the whole bubble, right? I was like, really gonna put, like, how are they gonna do that in the movie? And James Wan was like, oh no, they're freaking talking underwater. Again, Joss Whedon just messed up everything, but I feel like James Wan did a good job here. It looks great. I do like the idea of them talking underwater without a freaking bubble. So whoever craps on it, get a life. Now this was stunning, and I wanted to do a long pause for this one. So we're gonna be on this shot for a little bit. I really do like this shot of Atlantis because it's very comic book accurate. And here's the thing with DC, with the DCEU right now. Both this movie, Aquaman, and Shazam are probably the most comic book accurate films I've seen in a long time. I mean, even Marvel is not this accurate. I mean, come on, people. Are you going to tell me that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is exactly comic book accurate compared to this movie? Because everything so far that we've seen has looked just like it is from the comics, ripped right out of the comic book, right? I mean, Black Mana's suit, Atlantis, right? Orm's helmet, right? Everything just looks exactly like it is in the comic book, come to life. Whereas Marvel changes a lot of their characters, like Scarlet Witch has changed. I can't think of all of them right now, but you know what I mean. Like Captain America's suit has changed multiple times, so I just feel like it's not on this level. I feel like Aquaman is introducing a new level, and Shazam are introducing new levels of comic book accuracy. I also love how they transport themselves in Atlantis with like highly advanced technological ships, or like submarines or whatever. That was really cool. I'm excited to see the technological advances that Atlantis has, and I think it's just really cool, right? I want to ride in one of those. And would you ride in one of those if it was a theme park? If Aquaman had, if Warner Brothers made an Aquaman theme park, would you ride in a ride like that? Now this, I also wanted to pause on this because James Wan is so incredible. He actually said something recently about how when he was approached by Warner Brothers to do this project, he told them that it was either his way or the highway. Same with Patty Jenkins, and I feel like these are the type of directors that are truly going to help DCEU, the ones that know what they're doing, right? And with David F. Sandberg, right? James Wan was the reason why he was hired, why Sandberg was, but I still feel like he has that same initiative. So I really do like the director's choices that all three of them are doing right now. And then here, again, that's Orm with a trident, so I don't really get that. I don't know how he got it. Maybe this is a flashback sequence. Like, maybe he had it beforehand. Comment down below if you can sort that out for me, because I'm still kind of lost on that. And then here you see that there's the Quindent from Justice League, and then there's the trident. Or maybe it's a different trident. I don't know, because the whole point is Aquaman and Mera are looking for the trident from King Atlan, so I don't know what's going on here. Kind of confused on that. So if you guys know, comment down below. But I do like the idea of the fight sequence. It looks really nice. And then here, this is the volcanic, like, I guess cave or arena, right, that we've seen in the first look photos. And again, Patrick Wilson looks really good here. He's a really good face actor also. Like, look at that face, right? A lot of acting is reacting, and I think that he's doing it really well. So good for him, Patrick Wilson is going to knock it out of the park here. And he said that he also loves what James Wan's been doing with his vision. So I cannot wait to see what else that has in store for him as Orm, right? As Orm, first time we're seeing him. Now, this was kind of weird. I didn't like this. I don't think these are actual people. They looked very CGI'd in the trailer. And that's the thing is that, we're going to pause on this too for a second, is that Warner Brothers, I watched the Godzilla trailer, and the CGI looked very realistic. And this CGI for all the DCEU films are video game CGI, right? Like they're not as realistically shapen, right? It just looks kind of weird to me, and it looks really digital. And I actually said in a video once, I can't remember which video it was, but with Batman v Superman, I didn't mind the video game CGI. In fact, I thought it looked good there. Now, it's gotten worse. Justice League, it's gotten really bad. Here, it's iffy. So what do you guys think about the video game CGI? Does it look good to you? Comment down below. This was actually a really nice scene, showing off Aquaman's true strength, because where was that in Justice League now? Now that I think about it, where was that in the movie? Right, we didn't get a lot of Jason Momoa's strength in there, Aquaman's. So I'm wondering where that was. But anyway, here this looks really nice. I really do like the idea of him not only being an underwater hero, right, because that's what a lot of people make fun of him for, but also having that strength to show off. And again, the teen Arthur Curry, right? Like we got teen Clark Kent. We didn't get a teen Bruce Wayne or teen Diana. But we did. Well, actually, we did get a teen Diana in the movie in Wonder Woman briefly in a fight scene. So Bruce Wayne's the only one that hasn't got a teen flashback, maybe in the Batman movie. But I really do like this. I think that this actor looks like he's doing a good job, so I'm excited to see maybe more flashbacks of Arthur as a teen. Now the green screen effects here as well, I just don't, I can't get I can't get myself behind it, right? I just think that the CGI and the green screen effects need a little bit more work. And James Wan said this is it, right? James Wan said that it's all finished. He said he wanted to debut this trailer with all the CGI finished, so that's what we have. Now this shot looks really good in terms of CGI. See, some of it looks good, some of it looks iffy. I don't know. But I like this shot here, and I think this might be towards the third act of the film. Maybe like setting up the third act, and it looks freaking incredible. I just love this. I love like the sea creatures being so popular as they are. Again, this could be a really good theme park. I'm telling you, it's because the sea creatures are just so cool, right? I can't wait to see more of them. But I'm wondering if all of them are from a specific specific kingdom out of the 7 kingdoms. Which ones will we be exploring? You know, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. Again, this is a continuation of that shot. Again, I think that this is going to the 3rd act. It looks really good here. I like the lightning bolts in the background there. It looks really cool. I think that James Wan is doing a really good job here. But talking about the 7 kingdoms, because obviously there's a ginormous amount of sea creatures there. I think the 7 kingdoms, I don't want to explore too much of them, and here's why. Because I was actually arguing about this on Twitter to multiple people. I don't think we should explore them because it'll take away from what really matters. And I think that that's Black Manta, Orm, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and Mira, right? Like with the Fisherman King here. Because I didn't actually speak out about this. I didn't make a video for it, but we're talking about it here. It's just going to take too much out of the film. I mean that if you dive into these characters and kind of explore them, it might take more out of Aquaman and his story, right? And so I don't want to really focus on all 7 of, like, what if we had the king from each of the 7 kingdoms and we had to go through all 7 of them, right? I mean, that's just ridiculous. So I'm hoping that Fisherman King is the only one we really kind of meet with. The others I don't really care about as much. Maybe like a small meeting with all of them in Orm, but like a really short scene with them all, maybe. But if we explore them just as much as we're doing with the Fisherman King, that's too much. And I feel like James Wan should, his broad statements are great. He should broaden all of what he's been doing with his vision, but also keep it simple when it comes to the 7 kingdoms, because I think that they're just too much. It's too much to introduce, because the audience can only take so much lore and so much world building, which is what they didn't like about BVS, right? Is that it was just too complex. Now here, this looks so freaking good. And I think that Orm, Patrick Wilson, even though he's doing a great job, I think he should be worried, because this is the villain that everyone's going to look at and everyone's going to watch. I mean, look at Black Manta. The red eyes, right? The suit. It is so comic book accurate. No one can argue this. I think this is it. I think that the solo DCEU films, at least the 3 that we're getting soon, are going to beat out Marvel, in terms of comic book accuracy. I can just say it now, and I'm not trying to diss on Marvel. I like Marvel movies quite a bit. Infinity War was great, right? And I loved it so much, and I'm looking forward to the rest. But you just can't get any more accurate than this, right? I mean, it just looks that freaking good. And I'd be worried if I were Disney Marvel, because just because the DCEU has done really badly in the past, and I still think they have problems. There are 2 Joker films. So the WB is a mess. WB is a mess right now. But with this on the horizon, I feel like this could be the turn of a new era for them. And I really do think that Disney Marvel should be quite worried, especially Disney overall, because this is going up against Mary Poppins. If you didn't know, Aquaman and Mary Poppins are battling out at the box office. But I like this brief scene here. It was pretty funny. Not the funniest thing I've seen out of like an end trailer scene. Not end credit, but end trailer, right? But it was really interesting. Overall, I really did like this trailer. It really gave you the idea of what was going on. It gave you a broad, look at Atlantis and how comic book accurate it is, and how fun it's going to be to explore. I really want to dive in myself, to be quite honest with you, and check out Atlantis, and that's how good the movie's doing already with its world building. I think James Wan's a great director. I think his vision is going in the right path, right? And I feel like he could be maybe asked upon to do another solo film. I would like to see him go with some other characters, maybe. I think it just looks that real. It just looks that good. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Are you excited for Aquaman more or Shazam more? I'm going to talk about why I prefer Shazam in my Shazam trailer breakdown, which is coming very soon. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this movie first, because I think Aquaman was ultimately the biggest thing at Comic-Con. Right? Nobody could stop talking about it. I mean, it was all over social media. There was a lot on the floor for it, in terms of like first looks at the characters and minifigures, right? So I think that this won. And I think Warner Brothers did a really good job of getting us ready for this trailer. And James Wan knows what he's doing, and I'm very excited for it. But what do you guys think? Comment down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts about James Wan's vision for Aquaman. And I'd also like to hear what you think about the Shazam trailer too before we get to that breakdown. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys later for some more Comic-Con videos and some extra DCEU videos on top of that. Bye-bye.